Automotive and Tire, McGee Insurance, and West Michigan CMH on 102.7 Mom FM.
It is WMOM 826 now. In the studio with us, Randy from Captain Chuck's 2 at the corner of Construction, Jababi, and US 10. You know the side roads to get in, or you just come off of US 10, but do you got anybody complaining when they come into the store there?
Not yet, but they just started working on that yesterday, so I'm sure this weekend it'll be there'll be some whining.
That's all right. It'll be done. Actually, it's supposed to be done quicker than expected. We heard from one of the construction workers that they're ahead of that already. So that's good.
Yeah, I think they got that first section done there really fast. Mm-hmm. So I think they were probably like a week ahead on that, which is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully that'll be done, and just have patience out there. But you are at the corner of Jabavi and US 10, Captain Chuck's 2, right there. The home of lures and bait and tackle and the firearms now, bow and arrow, everything that you need there. We just had the tournaments that wrapped up. How did that go, by the way?
Went really good. It was challenging. There was a lot of really good fishermen that didn't do so well.
Really?
But there was some people that had great boxes too, so it's just a matter of if they found fish or not.
Well, in the big story, not most of the summer, but for a few weeks there, was that fishing was tough out on the big lake. Is that still the case or not?
It's pretty good right now, actually. Okay. Yeah, the water's starting to set up a little bit. I know some people that were out last night, they were putting 8 or 9 fish in the boat, which is a solid day, Okay. It's not 20s like it was earlier in the year, but it's still just, this is the time of year where it really starts to kick off for us. Yeah. In Ludington, in this port. So.
Okay. So not at the springtime into the transition into summer, just kind of in the heart of the summer.
Right. Yeah. Spring can be really good, and then we go through a lull. Usually it's the first couple of weeks of June where we really, really struggle, and then it kind of slowly picks up from there and then just gets better and better as July and August get here.
All right. If you're just joining us, we're talking with Randy from Captain Chuck's 2 live here in the studio. Something you can watch on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. We're streaming there right now. And, of course, over your smart devices. Hudson is always looking forward to seeing you. He's over on your side of the studio.
He's up on my leg right now.
He's just hanging out.
He's up hanging out. I'm petting him while we talk.
That's right. He grabbed his toy when he saw you come in the door, and he's like, hey, Randy is here to play.
Yep.
So that's kind of cool.
I always get him usually zoom in.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's talk about some of the tournaments. Did you find out afterwards some of the tackle that was used, some of the items that we might want to share with people now that the tournament's done? It's always secretive, right?
Very.
But afterwards, maybe things are encouraged to leak out a little bit.
Yeah, we never really heard of anything that was super hot. The key to that tournament was they were catching fish very far down in the water column.
Okay.
So, if let's say they were, for example, in 150 feet of water, they were catching fish at like 140 feet down.
Oh, really?
So that was the guys that won it. That was their technique, was fishing really deep from what we heard.
Yep.
Right now, fishing is good, and it's a really mixed bag of baits that they're using. I know some guys that were out last night, they caught them on flies. They caught them on meat rigs. They caught them on spoons. So you got to just put everything down in a bunch of different colors, and it seems like everything's kind of working, that there's not really one in particular that's really, really super hot.
When you were talking about some of the ones that didn't catch a lot of fish, or the big ones compared to others, was it more out of towners, or was it?
It was a mix of everybody. Actually, there were some locals that struggled too.
Okay.
A boat from Manistee won it.
Okay.
So, fairly local.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there was a couple of local boats that did really good, placed in the top 10.
Okay.
But it was tough for even some of the best. They struggled.
Does it mean that fish are shifting still out there? Because we had talked about that early on when the water temp was changing, that they were going to warmer water. You'd mentioned a moment ago that things are probably kind of normalizing a little bit out there. Are those spots where, if people are coming back year after year, are they safe going back to now and catching some good fish?
Yeah, so kind of the standard for Ludington is everybody likes to run up north to the point. and that's up by the Big Sabo Lighthouse.
Yeah.
And the reason that is because there's what they call the bank or a shelf up there. And so the water depth changes very rapidly. And so you can cover a lot of different kinds of water in a short amount of time. And then if you find fish in a certain depth of water, then you can spin back around and go right back through it again.
Randy, stop for a second.
Sure.
There's going to be a target on your back now if you say anything more, right?
No.
Okay, keep going.
No, we're good.
Okay, good.
There's always a target on our back.
No, I know.
No, but the point, and it does get, I mean, it gets absolutely absurd up there with boats. It's nuts. Like when I fish, I don't even go up there. I'll stay short of it. Mm-hmm. But it's good fishing up there. That's why everybody goes.
Yeah.
So kind of an unwritten, way to start is to go up there.
Plus, when you see where all the boats are and they're casting their lines, most people go in those areas, right?
Yeah, a lot of times. Yeah, a lot of guys that are the weekend warriors, as we call them, like myself. Mm-hmm. A lot of guys, they'll go where the boats are. Now, I'm usually the opposite. I'll usually try to stay away from the boats and try to find fish on my own. Mm-hmm. I know enough people that if I'm struggling, I can make a couple phone calls and hopefully,
turn left, turn right.
Yeah,
No,
hopefully get some help. But it's a lot of guys just don't like fooling with the traffic, the boat traffic up there.
Yeah, for sure. And what about we haven't heard much about that about the being in the way of like the Badger and other vessels out on the waterways. Have you heard much in regards to that and people adhering to moving out of the way?
That's coming.
Okay.
that chaos is soon to be starting. That's when usually it's early August and then mid-August it really gets heavy. It's when the fish start moving in from the pier heads and starting to go up the river. They'll come into PM Lake or Pure Marquette Lake for the non-locals. Mm-hmm. They'll come into Pure Marquette Lake, and that's when the guys are starting to jig. And that's when it gets chaotic in there because you got boats trolling, you got boats jigging, and the guys that are jigging are sitting still.
Yeah.
So those are usually where they run into issues with it. So we haven't heard it yet, but it's coming.
All right. And maybe not as soon that there's going to be conflicts because it looks like the Badger's going to be out for a couple weeks now based on their latest statement. So, that doesn't mean that those that are going in there to fish can get used to just say, I'm just hanging out.
Right.
Because and we don't have just the Badger here, when other vessels come in.
Yep.
And it sounds like authorities are going to crack down this year too.
That's what we were told. So I think first one they're talking like a warning. Second one's going to be a ticket that it sounded like is going to be $500 or better.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's not going to be a cheap thing if you're fooling around out there and not obeying the laws.
All right. Well, we'll keep pushing that to make sure that that people are aware, and it's just dangerous. I mean,
absolutely.
That fish is not worth your life.
No,
at all. We're talking with Randy from Captain Chuck's 2, corner of Jabavi and US 10, and most people want to come off of US 10 into your parking lot, right?
Correct. That's the only way to get in. They will have it completely blocked off. You can leave our parking lot on Jabavi going north, but you can't come in from the south going north. You have to come in off of US 10 or Ludington Avenue. Yep, whatever it's called right there.
Absolutely. And then the other thing that is kind of cool is we have a local bait shop, right, or a local lure company that created some of the sesquicentennial lures, right?
Yeah, Dreamweaver made up some lures, and if you come in and buy some Dreamweaver stuff, we're going to give you one.
No, that's pretty cool.
We only have a handful, so the first few guys will get them. But yeah, it's got the little logo on it, the 150, and pretty neat looking little spoons.
That's really cool. They do a great job with everything that they produce.
Yeah,
there.
all the local businesses are great. You've got Dreamweaver, you've got Yak, we've got boxer baits in the inland lake stuff.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
a lot of people right here in the area making good products. So.
All right, looking forward to it, and you can find it right there at Captain Chuck's 2. Anything else that we missed talking about this morning?
No, I think that's everything. We just want to touch base on them tournaments and things like that, and
All right.
So I'm glad you brought up the jigging and getting out of the way.
Absolutely.
Because that's going to be here soon.
We will bring up that topic of conversation again.
Yep.
And Randy from Captain Chuck's too. If people want to shop, when are they doing it?
7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and 7 a.m. till noon on Sunday.
All right. And if they want to reach you by phone, what is that number?
It's 231-843-4458.
And don't forget to check out the website. If I put you on the spot, do you know the website?
Cap-Chucks.
There you go, .com. And make sure you check it out because like everything, or most like everything that you sell in the store, people can buy online, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've got way more in the store than we have online, but
Okay.
we have a lot of stuff online.
All right, check that out when you get a chance, and then explore Captain Chuck's too in person. Say hi to Randy and the team there.
Heck yeah. Come
Randy,
see us.
yeah, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, good seeing you, Chris.
Yep, you got it. 8:37 on 102.7 WMOM. Stick around. We've got more hits on the way after a sports update on Mom FM.
Sports on the Michigan News Network.